welcome back to the channel. As I'm preparing to go off on a little trip myself, I thought now would be a good time to share my bike camping packing tips. So we'll talk about how to make a good packing list, a couple of different options for luggage, and waterproofing and security and things like that. So stick around if that sounds helpful. Okay, first piece of advice is very important, and this actually goes for any kind of packing, not just motorbikes. Make a list before you start packing. Here's why the list's important. If you just open your bag on the bed and just start putting things in, you're bound to try and pack too much. And it's much harder to get rid of things than add things, so you end up trying to sit on your suitcase or your bag and it doesn't fit. So decide what you're going to take before you take it. And the second reason is packing takes quite a lot of thinking. Everything on your list seems to me a decision to make. Like, for example, I want to take a battery pack, but do I take the little one or the big one, or both? Or this one charges with USB-C, so I can top it back up again faster. But the bike only has USB-A. But if I go to a cafe, but does that mean I need a new charging plug that can charge this faster, or is this fast enough? Should I change the USB socket on the bike to USB-C? If you do 5 minutes of thinking multiplied by all the items on your list, it's going to take days. So do the thinking first, make a list, and then just pack from the list. And then the really useful reason to use a list for packing is this. Once you've finished packing and you've finished your trip, don't throw the list away, keep it. After the trip is over, in fact, during the trip, take your list with you with a pen, and anything you didn't bring that you wish you had, make a note. Anything you did bring that you obviously don't need, make a note of that. You can't get rid of things you don't use just because you didn't use them, like your waterproofs. If it didn't happen to rain, then fair enough, you need your waterproofs. But it might become obvious to you as you travel, I just don't need to take that with you. Your packing list then becomes super refined just for you and your needs. And next time you go on a trip, there's no thinking involved. You just pack everything on the list and you're ready. For example, on a camping trip in the car, I would often take a chair or stool or something like this. And then I realised with the bike, I just sit on the floor. I'd rather put the camping stove on the ground where it's stable and I just sit cross-legged on the floor and do my cooking. If you want to relax for a bit at the campsite, there's always a bench or a log or a seat or something. And I don't spend that long at the campsite hanging around anyway, I'm off exploring. So that's a big load of weight saved. Now I just keep them in the car for coffees and picnics and stuff. I'll give you another example. After the side stand sank into the ground, I always have this in my bike jacket pocket when I'm going to be camping, because I'm going to be parking the bike on the soil. So this goes under the side stand. It's in this pocket ready, so I can just take it out and put it on the ground, stop the bike sinking. Little bits and pieces like that you add to your list as you go, which makes your list more customized to your needs. Right, let's talk about luggage. And for the first trips I went on, I used this. It's just a cheapish hold-all, and it's kind of a rubberized fabric. So I think it's sort of waterproof. I don't know about the zips particularly, but the fabric's quite rubbery. And then you're probably going to start considering something like this, the old car bungees. And I don't know, you can hook it on any bit of bodywork you've already got. So we go. Not impressed. These aren't great. The thing is, you got to stretch them really far to make them tight. And these hooky bits have a tendency to fly off or bend or hit you in the face. So they're not great. Let me show you an upgrade. These are called rock straps. They come in a couple of different sizes. And you've got two parts. This short part here, that's the stretchy elastic. And then the other part has a long strap with a buckle that you can slide up and down. So I'll show you how they work. We sort of lasso one end on there, other end somewhere else. Let's go there. And then the thing with these is that you can really pull on the elastic and tighten it up. Like that. Just have to tuck away the excess straps here. The idea is, as your clothes or stuff in your bag settles during the trip, the bag doesn't become loose. Whereas if you use just solid straps, things can move around a bit and the bag will gradually work itself loose. But if it's a little loose, just tighten on the elastic some more. Easy peasy, look at that. You could even shorten these, if that's a bit long for you. You could shorten them to a length that suits and just singe the end with a lighter. And then next up for your luggage, if you haven't already got one, it's probably going to be a top box. You may already have one. And the benefits of that are, it's lockable, so you've got at least a little bit of semi-secure storage. I say semi-secure, it's not high security, so anyone with a screwdriver or something could lever it open. But at least you feel like you could leave your stuff there for a couple of minutes while you nip in for a pee or something. Perfect size to hold your helmet as well, keep it dry. I would recommend though only keeping lightweight stuff in the top box because it's high up, so your centre of gravity is going to be high, it's going to make the bike less stable. But before long you're going to want some motorcycle panniers, and these are mine. These are the Givi E22N panniers, 22 litres each. Mostly, I think, because they were the only option I could find that fit a proper rack on this bike. You can get some throw-over panniers that are soft and then sort of buckle down, but a proper rack is more sturdy and more secure. So they just clip on here. And they open and close with a lock like this. Now, one of the reasons I like them is that they're a little more secure than just having a bag bungeed on the back. Now, the other great thing about using the panniers is you're carrying the weight lower down on the bike, so the centre of gravity is much lower. And you can bear that in mind when you're packing. I definitely want to put the heavy chain and lock in here, and lighter things like your sleeping bag or bed or waterproofs up in the top there. So keep the bike a bit more stable if the weight is held lower to the ground. Now let's talk security or lack of it. Obviously, and people are very fond of saying this, and I don't quite like it, I don't say it much, that if a thief wants to get in, they're going to get in. Yeah, we know that, but security is relative. I wouldn't leave my laptop or iPad or something really valuable in any of this storage unattended. I put my backpack on the back and I can take that with me into the service station or whatever. Is this secure enough for your sleeping bag or your camp cooker or something? Yeah, I suppose so. I mean, if you've parked the bike overnight in a city and you're staying in an Airbnb, of course you want to take all the luggage off the bike. I wouldn't leave anything on there. But if you're camping, is it safe to leave your clothes in the pannier while you sleep in your tent? Yeah, it's fine, no one's going to steal that. One slight danger is that because it's locked shut, the potential thief doesn't know what's in there, so they might break in just on the off chance that there's something valuable, and then of course they've broken the pannier. Aside from the cost, you've got to consider that if something's broken or stolen, you've now got the rest of your trip without it. And if it's your sleeping bag or your airbed or something, that's a real pain. But these are not the highest security locks. I don't want to tell you exactly how to do it, but having broken them myself by mistake, someone with a screwdriver and a hammer could very easily break in. In fact, just from my experience, just drop the bike on its side and they'll burst open, no problem. So to round off my setup, I'll usually go with the panniers, the top box, and then the tent can go on the back there and the backpack just on top. The backpack's got anything I need to take with me if I leave the bike unattended, like important documents and your iPad and chargers and things like that. And then that just gets strapped on the top with the rock straps. And that feels pretty secure. And then you can easily take the bag off and take it with you if you need to and leave the rest. I have left the tent in the car park when it seemed safe, but I have also taken it off and carried it under my arm when I've popped in to use the loo as well. One more thing I want to show you. If you're going with the bag on the back option, an upgrade from the cheap hold-all would be a proper dry bag made for motorbiking. And a general bit of advice would be to take your waterproofing very seriously. If you go out in the rain for a walk or something, you can hold your bag under your coat, or you can hunch over a bit or something, or hide. Or on a bike you can't. You have to have your hands on the bars. You have to be hitting the rain at 50 miles an hour or whatever. You're going to get wet. You can't protect your gear. You can't. It has to be in the rain, getting soaked. So it's got to be thoroughly waterproof. If you're going on a long trip, as you may well know, if your sleeping bag or your clothes get wet, it's miserable. So let me show you a special dry bag from Lomo. Maybe this is a bit big now, but Lomo makes motorcycle packing kit, and I've just stuffed my extra sleeping bags in there. So it's proper waterproof. You roll the top down like this, try and get the air out, and clip it down. Lots of clips. And then that's going to be really waterproof. You could ride all day long in the rain and all your stuff's going to stay dry. Just to be extra careful with things, especially sensitive things like your laptop or your toilet paper, you could put them in their own little dry bag inside the bag. We'll talk about that another time. Okay, thanks for watching. I hope that was helpful. Let me know if you have any other tips for bike camping or camping in general or packing. I'd appreciate it. Next time round, or coming up soon, I'm going to show you everything I pack for camping. We're going to go through the list one at a time and let you know what I've chosen and why. So thanks for watching again. I'll see you on the next one. Bye.